Everything Everywhere All at Once is a 2022 premiered film by the Daniels, also known as Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. This genre-defying film blends absurdist comedy, action, science fiction, and drama to create a deeply emotional film. We follow the story of Evelyn Wong, a Chinese-American laundromat owner who finds herself overwhelmed with a tax audit by the IRS, a crumbling marriage, and a strained relationship with her daughter Joy. Suddenly, Evelyn is pulled into a vast multiverse war. She must tap into these different versions of herself in order to try and defeat an all-powerful threat, the alternate version of her daughter Joy, Jobu Tapaki. This film is wild, it's chaotic, it's crazy, but it's also deeply emotional. The film itself tackles themes of generational trauma, existentialism, and the search for meaning in everyday life. I believe that this film should be included in our course because it's an exceptional showcase of how editing is not only a technical tool, but rather essential to storytelling in cinema. The editing in this film is not only used to organize scenes and create a coherent sequence of events, it's utilized to shape the core emotional and thematic structure of the entire film. In the sound and editing module of this course, we learned of a variety of different editing techniques. Cuts, pace, rhythm, transition, and montage, all of which are vital to editing within cinema. Everything Everywhere All at Once excels at all of these aspects and includes them in different ways throughout different scenes in the movie. They help visualize the fragmentation of identity and reality that we are experiencing through our main character, Evelyn. One key example of this can be seen actually about 45 minutes into the film. Our protagonist, Evelyn, begins to simultaneously experience flashes of alternate realities. The editing becomes extremely fast-paced, showcasing flashes of Evelyn's face in different costumes, lightings, and even settings, all representing individual alternate Evelyns. According to a breakdown by Scrite, in 2024, editor Paul Rogers worked closely with the Daniels in order to create an editing style that, quote, reflected Evelyn's own splintering sense of self, end quote. At first, the cuts are jarring and somewhat disorienting. However, they eventually end up building a sort of rhythm, which visually represents Evelyn's growing awareness across timelines. As we watch this scene, we are literally seeing Evelyn's sense of identity evolve in real time. Another scene in the film that has great examples of different styles of editing utilized is the iconic IRS fight scene. Evelyn's husband, Waymond, transforms his fanny pack into a martial arts weapon, and a battle sequence ensues inside this IRS office. The choreography in this scene is extremely absurd, and there is a variety of whip pan smash cuts and zooms utilized to kind of create a contrast between the crazy sequence going on and the fully intact, bleak IRS office setting. Now, this contrast is 100% intentional. The surreal action combined with sort of a mundane setting is what really adds to the movie's theme of absurdism. As Kritika Parag states in a 2022 article for the Philosophy Project, quote, the film passes through the corridors of existentialism and nihilism, only to arrive at the door of absurdism. The way that these symbolic elements are sort of cut into the narrative with editing, whether it be mid-battle sequence or mid-dialogue, emphasizes the tonal duality of despair and laughter that is riddled throughout the film. Later in the film, Evelyn and Joy face off in an alley, not with fists, but rather with words. Suddenly, the chaotic edits we've seen all throughout the film disappear. Long takes and a calm tempo create a very moving emotional tone. This shift in pacing underscores Evelyn's overall transformation throughout the film, from confusion to clarity, and from fragmentation to focus. On a more personal note, as the daughter of an immigrant mother myself, I found myself deeply moved by the mother-daughter tension. The editing, especially in their early misunderstandings and later reconciliation, reflects the emotional noise of navigating cultural gaps and generational trauma. It's a wonderful representation of generational disconnect, something that both feels personal to me and universal at the same time. Watching this felt like watching different versions of conversations I've had myself, just with fewer martial arts. So why should this Oscar-winning movie be a part of our course? In short, Everything Everywhere All at Once teaches us that editing can be emotional, narrative, and philosophical all at once. It offers a rich example of how film language can deepen story and theme in ways that truly stick with audiences. In my opinion, Everything Everywhere All at Once is a masterclass in editing, and I believe it should be included in our unit. I hope you guys enjoyed this pitch. Thank you so much for listening.